Hello, I just finished grading your Module 5 assignments, and in general you guys did a fantastic job. Most of you were able to complete the assignment with 0 to 1 errors. There were a few of you, however, that I think did not understand the assignment. It looks like you made up data instead of entering data from the case report form, or that you did not use the instructions. So I thought it would be helpful to provide you with a little feedback, and I want to remind you that you're going to have questions from this on both your midterm and your final exam. If you're interested, you can do a self-paced review on your own entry. You can see exactly how your patient looks compared to the master patient that I entered using the REDCap data comparison tool. Log into REDCap, scroll down to the application menu, click on the data comparison tool. In the left column, use the drop-down menu to choose record 1. This is the master version of the patient that I entered, and it's what I compared your patient to. In the right column, use the drop-down menu to choose the record number for your patient, the patient that you entered. The data comparison tool will display the differences between the two records. The values under the left column, or in the left column, are how I want the data to look. The values in the right column will display your entry, the way you entered the data. In this example, you can see that I entered the site number as 333 for record number 1, but I entered site number as 002 for record 2, so it flags as a discrepancy. I want to point out that not all discrepancies are going to be errors. For example, you will notice the Upload Source Document field flags as a discrepancy. This is because I uploaded a source document from my patient. REDCap records this upload and assigns a number to the document. In this case, the document is 174, but your patient has a blank value because I did not have you upload documents, so ignore these fields. I'm also not counting minor typos as errors. In Visit 1 on this example, number of pills missed, I entered none missed, N-O-N-E, but the student misspelled none as N-O-N, non. I did not count this as an error. I also did not count it as an error if I entered the word as none and the student entered the number 0 instead. Some discrepancies I did count as errors because they changed the meaning of the data. In this example, the student changed the CRF data reported on the adverse event form. Remember, AE data is critical data, so you must ensure it's entered correctly. It makes a difference to the analysis. In this case, the student altered the related to study treatment data. Now the data says there's a definite relationship between the study drug and the event, and that the drug was withdrawn. I would count these as errors. Remember, your assignment was to review the written and video instructions, then locate the mock patient data CRF and enter the data recorded on that CRF as seen. When I reviewed your patients, it appeared that some of you were making up data or entering data that I had in the instructions, as opposed to using the instructions to teach you how to enter the CRF data. Make certain you are entering the data that you see on the case report form. Remember, we are not allowed to change or correct data unless we have a policy or a confirmation from the site. I purposefully created dirty data for the date of birth and age fields. I did this for 2 reasons. First, I wanted to emphasize 2 concepts from the Module 2 portion of CRF and database design. Remember, in that module, we stated you should never capture the same data twice. It simply creates an opportunity for discrepancies. I wanted you to see that in action, so I captured both date of birth and age in our case report form, and I made sure the data didn't match. Which brings us to the second concept we discussed in Module 2. If you need to calculate a variable, have the program do it. Don't have the human at the site do it. So when I wanted to calculate age, I should have built an algorithm into REDCap that calculated age based on date of birth. This would have avoided the human calculation error and avoided having the site enter the same data twice. I also want to talk about the best way to look for these types of discrepancies. Asking an entry operator to find them simply slows down the entry process, and because of human error, it means many of the discrepancies will be overlooked. A better approach is to create a listing of the two fields and then review that listing. I created a sample listing in REDCap so you would see what this looks like. Look, it's much easier to scroll down this list and identify discrepancies than it is to try to pick them out of the case report form data as you enter it. Here's another example of why you cannot change or correct data on your own. I built a second error into the visit to dosing data. Once again, I collected the same data twice, and I had a human being try to calculate a value when I should have had the program do it. In this case, I asked the site to record the doses dispensed and the doses taken. That's reasonable, and the data could be confirmed by doing a pill count at the site or checking a diary. But then I asked the site to manually calculate the number of doses that had been missed. In this case, the site made a mistake, and the values do not match up. Did the patient take 29 of the 30 doses, or did they miss 3 doses? If they actually took 29 doses, then there should only be 1 missed dose. That would mean the patient was compliant with the protocol, and the site simply needs to update that 3 to a 1. But if the patient actually took 26 doses and really did miss 3 doses, that's a different scenario. In that case, there's been a protocol deviation, and the patient needs to be withdrawn from the study. You cannot determine that simply by looking at this data. You would need to query the site to find out what really happened. So remember, you can't simply correct the values and hope you chose the right one. So remember, you can't do these assignments without reviewing both the written and video instructions. You need to make sure you know how to find these instructions and that you're using them. Ask me if you have trouble locating them. Ask me if you have trouble understanding them. And start your assignment early. Make sure you access the Module 6 assignment instructions. This screenshot shows where the instructions for Module 6 are located. Look at them, read them, and contact me if you have questions. Good luck!